अस्सलामुअलैकुम गाइस, कैसे हैं? ठीक है। उम्मीद है ठीक होंगे। तो जो आज का हमारा टॉपिक है वो है दी फुलिज स्टेज, दी फुलिज क्रैक। तो हम फुलिज क्रैक के बारे में पढ़ेंगे। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। वन इवनिंग एट द सन वाज सिटिंग, some travelers stayed the rest under a clump of tree of just under a clump of tree and losing the chemical sets them crazy. It happened that one of animals entered a melon field at the melon struck in the cross. The owner sailing and failing to lose an animals tied a blanket around its cross and then struck the place with the greatest violence intensity. The melon broke in this throats for the camel, and it was an easily slowed a certain man who had just and come and so observing the proceeding shouldered the bundle and going to the next village presented that he was a doctor. But what you can color asked the village. I cannot color the cauldron, answered the crack. An old woman whose toes are swollen to the frightful size exclaimed, "Oh my son, if you would only cluster my golly, I would bless to your evermore." Certainly, answered the man, "he bring me a blanket and good sides matter." As soon as they were brought, he tied up the woman trod and struck the swollen part with so much force that the poor old density so they released him, being minded to carry him before the thing. One them, however, she said, a very old woman, who must have died shortly. In any case, let us therefore compel the wretch to dig a half grave, and then we can bleed him and let him go. So they looked him and set him to work, but ground was so swift and hard that they make but slow progress. If you do not dig it there before the king shall and go, then you will be handed. The exhorted the unfortunate man, the greatest fear laboratorized away with all his mind, and it reached village saw that he finished he tasked and murdered the victim of the mistake treatment. They beat him well and got him underfished by the scarcity of the punishment. The man mounted his camel and went to the next village and against himself found the great doctor. The time it was old man who offered himself for treatment, but the pretended doctor said, "Look here, good people, I shall do my best to culture in case, but remember, if I am so unfortunate as you to kill him, I am not to be compared with the man." Such a pretty spot of doctor must be carried before the degree of treatment. You are talking of this thing. The patient give away with your wish shall have nothing to do with you. Hearing his pretended doctor began to say to himself, when they extraordinarily thinks this is my best plan, please to turn to the camel man and said them, "They have not shown me the right color to diseases, premium will be devices." We had overtake, then he carried, "What foolish man we must be! I cannot, woman," we suffered. suffered, but instead of recovering.